Okay, fellas, great job so far in the Conference League. Looks like we're in top form. Now we're in the quarterfinals. Hopefully we don't get a nosebleed here, but we are taking on Anderlecht, just a team a little bit stronger than what we've met so far, but on recent form. Let's see if we can make our way into that final four, okay, fellas? Hello everyone and welcome to episode 69 of Husavik Heroes here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and coming up in today's episode we have the quarterfinals of the Conference League taking on Anderlecht of Belgium over 2 leagues, and at the end of today's episode we will also have a little bit of a life update about our house moving date and also the potential of streaming in the future. So if you are keen on that, then do stick around until the end. But if you are looking forward to today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But we have made our way through to the quarterfinals of the Conference League for the second time in this save. If you missed yesterday's episode, the second knockout round, I'll leave a link to that above my head in the top right corner, and we are taking on Anderlecht of Belgium, the second team from Belgium that we have taken on in the knockouts of this Conference League, having knocked out, of course, Royal Antwerp in the first knockout round. These guys are third in the Pro League in Belgium, so a team who are a little bit further up the table than Royal Antwerp, where they've got a few more familiar names in their team, most notably Eddie Salcedo up front, a little bit of a higher reputation than most of the teams we have met so far in this Conference League. But on our recent form, I am hopeful that we can go a little bit further than we did a few seasons ago when Napoli knocked us out at this stage, and hopefully, potentially, we might be able to sneak our way through into a European final early next week. But before we do get into the first leg of this tie, we have been playing some Deal to Bakar games in between now and the end of yesterday's episode. We'll make our way over to the schedule, and you can see there that we have actually won the Deal to Bakar for the 6th season in a row. But these games were really annoying this season because they got postponed quite frequently, and what that has meant in the lead up to the first leg of this Conference League quarterfinal is that I have not quite been able to give our first team and second team the minutes that I had planned, with all the postponements that have been happening, largely because our home ground at the Husavik Heroes has been getting flooded. It has led me to really want to upgrade our stadium, but we probably don't quite have the finances or the fan support either, with only about 300 season tickets being sold each year here at Völsungur at the moment. So that's been a little bit frustrating, not quite being able to juggle the teams as I would like and give our first team quite the amount of minutes I would like in the lead up to this game, and arrange friendlies around that, just because we keep getting games postponed. But we did win our last 2 games of the group stage 2-0 over Nuts, thanks to goals to our new left back Alejandro Meza and backup striker Goodness on nice and early that day, and then against Poor to make sure that we did finish top of our group, and Nygaard double and Kadena double. That was the last game that the first team did play prior to this Anderlecht one. Our backup team handled both the semi-final and final, seeing as those were played in pretty close proximity to this game and to each other. We picked up a 3-0 win against R.S.C in the semi-final, goals to Ainsco, Afosu and Goodness on. They got one back late, and then a red card and very late injury time there did R.S.C, and a bit of a scrappy final it was, but we did get an early goal through Pat Ainsco, yet again our right winger from America. He is a young player who seems to pop up with goals quite regularly. That was the goal which did steal us our 6th League Cup in a row, but not focusing on that too much this season as we are still in Europe. But that is how our form has been in the lead up to this quarterfinal off the back of the second knockout round. In yesterday's episode, our first team is fully fit. Ian Carlo is available for both legs of today's episode. The only players who are unavailable are backup options. Lorenzo Gavioli is still out. This time, though, he has actually got a new injury. It's a sports hernia now, so he is out for a further 3 to 7 days. He's probably going to miss both legs of this tie, and Andrew Mbeba has sprained ankle ligaments. Probably won't be making his way onto the bench for this one, for the first leg anyway, as he is out for one further day. But first 11 wise, we are at full strength. The first leg is at our home ground, and we'll come back shortly and see what we can do here in the quarterfinals against Anderlecht. And here are the team sheets for this one. As we ran through before, we are at full strength. Just a few changes on the bench with those injuries. We are still monitoring some of these players, or should I say managing them with yellow cards in mind, although I think those might get wiped if we do make our way through to the semi-finals, but that's something which we might just have to keep in mind should we get a decent advantage in this game. Anderlecht their team came up before, and hopefully we can pick up a good result to take into the away leg. 13 minutes gone, first highlight of the game, and we are on the attack after they did clear the ball there from the alliance, did Anderlecht, but we are just outside the box. Hopefully can get off to a good start as R.S.C is just in behind here. Plays that into the box for R.S.C, and for Nygaard, he gets a shot off. It is blocked. Anderlecht do clear this. It does feel like a highlight that will continue because that chance wasn't an overly great one, and indeed we are back in possession off that clearance. Hopeful for another good start in a home game here. We've been quite good at that in the knockout rounds of this Conference League since dropping down from the Europa League at the start of the week. And R.S.C is on the ball here. Gauterson up to Rubio. R.S.C back out to R.S.C. Good short passing here. Flicks that in for Benjamin Rubio. It's a near post header, and it does sneak inside the near post, and that is exactly the start that we were after. Yet again, getting off to a hot start in our home games here, and we go 1-0 up, just shy of the quarter of an hour mark. R.S.C, who was involved in that passage of play quite a bit. Benjamin Rubio just given far too much space there at the near post, and the Spaniard puts us up 1-0 early in this home league. 38 minutes gone. Second highlight of this game is a goal kick to Anderlecht, but we do win the ball back there through Mbiamba. Ian Carlo gets it up to Patrick Nygaard, and hopefully we can keep the pressure on Anderlecht here, as so far stats-wise we have been dominant in this game, trying to play a ball forward there for Benjamin Rubio, who did open the scoring, but Anderlecht look to play out from the back and get something going in this. So far they've been pretty quiet, only the one shot in this game. We've had 6-2 on target and a goal through that early header to Benjamin Rubio at the near post. But right here, Anderlecht, we're holding the ball quite nicely, but a good interception there, and we start to go on the attack, although it's a little bit poor as we can't quite find a teammate, although that clearance from their goalkeeper is poor as well, and we do get back in possession, and Rubio gets in behind and he tucks it away into the top right corner. Benjamin Rubio having a great first half here. It was very sloppy at the back there from Anderlecht. The few times that they could have kept possession, they didn't. They gave us a few chances there to get back at them for a second goal, and indeed that was the case. Patrick Nygaard, Rubio just finds himself in enough space there on the right-hand side of the centre circle, tucks it away, top right corner. 2-0 Völsungur, 5 minutes shy of halftime in the home league. And just before halftime, another highlight as Anderlecht do clear the ball away, but we are still on the attack, looking to make it 3-0 right before the quarter-way mark of this quarter-final, and that would be a great start. Would give us a little bit of an edge to try and make our way into the semi-finals of a European competition. Great short passing, Nygaard for Rubio again, and he tucks it away, bottom left corner, and Benjamin Rubio has a first half hat-trick. Not quite sure if it's a perfect hat-trick, not quite sure which foot he used for that goal, but he is having a blinding game so far as Benjamin Rubio, and we make it 3-0 right on the stroke of half-time here in the home league, and this is exactly what we wanted in this first league, and indeed, we probably should have a semi-final to start off next week, albeit still got a lot of football to play, but that is a superb first half from us, exactly what we need, especially with the yellow card management in mind. It should hopefully give us a leg up for the rest of this tie, but that is a superb opening 45 minutes. No changes to be made at halftime as we do hold a 3-0 lead here at home over Anderlecht. And very early in the second half, it's a corner in our favour. Can we keep the pressure on? It's a little bit lucky at the back there. It was a bit of a funny deflection off one of the Anderlecht defenders, but their goalkeeper tidies that up, albeit this highlight does continue, and Ian Carlo does win the ball back for us. So can we mount yet another attack? This has been a really good performance so far, and anything more than this will be a big bonus, although we do lose possession there down the right-hand side through Patrick Nygaard, but we do get the ball back from that here. Nicolucci Caviglia slots through Cadena. Now, was he onside? I suspect he might have been off. I don't see the goal appearing in the bottom left corner, which usually isn't a good sign either, and VAR does disallow that goal. That would have been a dream start to the second half, but Sergio Cadena, I believe, was a good stride offside here. Indeed, he was just a little bit too early on his run there. It remains 3-0 early in the second half. And not long off the back of that disallowed goal, it is a highlight potentially here in Anderlecht's favour as they get something going for the first time in this game. They fizz a ball in there towards the far post, and Anwar at Haji is able to get the opening goal for Anderlecht in this tie. It's a little bit sloppy from us there from a throw and some good short passing, what we've been doing quite well in this tie so far. Nice ball fizzed in there for the player who scored, just tucks that away at the near side here into the bottom left corner, and they find a way back into this game. 3-1 just after the 50-minute mark. 57 minutes gone, we are back on the attack, looking to extend that lead back out to 3 goals. Roselli just inside the box, potentially looking for a penalty. Benjamin Rubio plays that back for Arneson, tries to put that into the right-hand corner and actually forces a superb save there out of the Anderlecht goalkeeper, but we've been playing very well in this game so far. Corbo with a header. The goalkeeper is well placed to save that, and it looks like it is going to remain 3-1 around about the hour mark, but this highlight does continue, and we are in possession again. Patrick Nygaard just jogs his way around that slide tackle, and can he get something going yet again? 2 assists in this game so far, and now we do knock the ball about just outside the box. Good little back heel there from Ian Carlo, and he is back on the ball as our Brazilian right back. Might need to take him off sooner rather than later, making his way back from injury. Nice ball there. Nicolosi, Cadena will slot Rubio through, and is that a goal? We are going to have to wait yet again for a VAR check, but Benjamin Rubio might be in red hot form today. He is on here for his 4th goal, and the goal has been awarded. Benjamin Rubio is having a standout performance here in a Völsungur shirt. This is by far his best performance so far. Nicolosi Caviglia plays a nice ball there through for Cadena over to Rubio, who just gets a little bit of help off the woodwork to make the scoreline 4-1 right on the hour mark in the first leg of this quarterfinal. And up to the 65-minute mark, we are going to make our first substitution now. Ian Carlo recovering from that injury, still not quite fully match fit. We will take him off on a red heart. Adri Garrido to come on for him. Still 4-1 up here in the first leg. 68 minutes gone, and it might be another highlight here in our favour. A throw-in inside the final third. It finds its way back out to Roselli. Nicolosi Caviglia from just outside the box. Oh, he has that in his locker. Does the club captain, someone other than Benjamin Rubio, gets on the score sheet, and this is an absolutely superb performance in the first leg of the Conference League quarterfinals. We make it 5-1 on the day, and this is starting to become an almost unassailable lead. That's a great goal from the captain. 20 minutes left, 4 goals up. 73 minutes gone. It is a free kick here to Anderlecht. The goalkeeper will try and find a teammate, but does it poorly. And Rubio briefly in possession, looking for 5. Ball played over the top for him. He tucks it away now. I think he might just be offside there from first initial glance, but he is looking for a fistful in this game is Benjamin Rubio, and the goal is awarded. Benjamin Rubio is in absolutely stunning form. He helped us get the ball back there from that header. Nygaard to Galtason must have just been onside there. It's a really nice finish. He gets 5 goals in a Conference League quarterfinal. That has to be some kind of club record for European football. In fact, it's a very well-timed run from the Spanish striker to pick up 5 goals, and we are 6-1 up with 15 minutes left, and we are going to make some substitutions at this time with Nicolosi Caviglia on a red heart, and of course he is also on a yellow card getting into the remainder of these European games, so we will take him off for Martin Zviderski. 15 minutes left, 5 goals up in the first league. And up to the 83-minute mark, we're going to make our last substitution. Patrick Nygaard is down to a red heart. Bjarki Bjarkason to come on for him. Still 5 goals up with 7 minutes left. And we are into injury time in the first leg of this Conference League quarterfinal, and that is exactly the performance that we were after. It actually means we should be able to rotate some players for the second leg with a 5-goal advantage, and that is all thanks to the work of Benjamin Rubio. He was red hot Rubio for us today with 5 goals, a first half hat-trick and he picked up 2 more in the second half. Nicolucci Caviglia chipping in with a wonderful strike from just outside the box. We did concede one early in the second half, but apart from that, that was a near perfect performance and pretty much puts 1.5 feet in the door of the Conference League semi-finals. We will get through this post-match interview because I think we can already start looking at the result from the Dynamo Zagreb Hertha Berlin game, because of course we did have the semi-final draw in yesterday's episode, and that is the tie that we do need to keep an eye out for. And Dynamo Zagreb have a 2-1 lead going into the Hertha Berlin home league, so that tie still up for grabs, but I probably would have expected Hertha Berlin to have the lead in that tie. It is Brighton who have the advantage over Olympiacos, and Braga and Randers are all tied up on the other side of the draw, but we are looking in the strongest position by far after the first leg of the quarterfinals, and we'll come back shortly, probably with a quite heavily rotated team with those yellow cards in mind for the second leg with a 5-goal lead. And here we are for the second leg in Belgium. Here is the Anderlecht team sheet. Looks pretty similar to what they had in the first leg from what I can tell, playing a 4-3-3, quite similar to ours. There is our lineup. You can see on screen a lot of changes just to make sure no suspensions, even though I think after this game our yellow cards do get wiped, but just playing it safe, and hopefully we can hold on to this 5-goal lead away from home. 1 minute gone. First highlight of the second leg in our favour. A throw in inside the final third, but Anderlecht do deal with it and might look to get something going here on the counter-attack with the team that we have put out for the second leg. Not really expecting to win this game, but we should still be able to hold on to that 5-goal advantage in the tie as they try and put a ball into the mixer there for Salcedo, but Afosu is able to deal with that nicely, and hopefully we can get something going ourselves here on the counter-attack off the back of that Anderlecht chance. Arnes on the ball right on the halfway line. Shatzakis plays it into Bjarkason, tries to pick out Rubio. Can he get 6 for the tie? Tries to put that bottom right corner, forces a decent save there out of the Anderlecht goalkeeper, in the first corner of this game is in our favour. At the 3-minute mark, Nygaard tries to pick out someone there at the near post, and we do get the ball back, but that's the end of the highlight. 5 goals up, still 5 minutes into the second leg. 8 minutes gone. It is a corner to Anderlecht. They put this far post. They square it in for Kana. A number of chances there for Anderlecht, but somehow we do hold on. We try and get something going potentially here on the counter-attack as we play that ball up to Rubio. A few good chances there though for the Belgians, but it does remain 0-0 after 10 minutes. 5 goals up on aggregate. And that is half-time in the second leg. A few good chances early for both teams, but it does remain 0-0, but we hold that 5-goal advantage, which with the team that we have put out, I am quite happy with. Just slightly dominating things in the run of play as well, stats-wise, so that bodes well. We'll head into the second half without making any changes just yet. Still 5 goals up, should be making our way through to the Conference League semi-finals at the start of next week. And a very early highlight here to start off the second half is a free kick in our favour. Sarah Fellini takes it short, and we do knock it about the back, and hopefully can have the first chance here of this second half, and we'll see if we can hold on for a draw or if Anderlecht win this game like we are expecting them to, as long as they don't pull out a freakish second half performance to pinch this tie overall, but that is looking very unlikely with the time left. But they are on the attack here quite well. They put a ball in there to the far post, yet again very much like the goal that they scored in the second half of the first leg, and it is a guy who does get the goal there for Anderlecht. Cabot puts the ball in there to the far post, and he tucks it away nicely. Anderlecht grabbed the lead on the day, but are still 4 goals behind on aggregate. And up to the 63-minute mark, we are going to make our first substitution. Still 4 goals up. Andrew Mbeba at centre-back today, not having a good game, only on a 6.4. So we will take him off. Anna Christiansson can get some rare Champions League game time off the bench for the last half hour or so. And a few minutes later, we're going to make our second substitution. Another player who is struggling out there, Brynjar Gudmundsson. He's a player who did come through our youth intake a few years ago. The striker, come box-to-box midfielder. Zvidersky to come on for him for the last 20 minutes. Still 4 goals up on aggregate. And with 14 minutes left, we're going to make our last substitution. 3 substitutions in a row. Patrick Nygaard, yellow card, and a 6.3 rating. Just struggling without his usual front three in and around him today. Pat Ainscoe to come on for him. 4 goals up inside the last 15 minutes. And right before we can make that substitution with Ainscough coming on for Nygaard, we do have a highlight, and Benjamin Rubio is in behind here, and he just forces a decent save there out of the Anderlecht goalkeeper, and it will remain 1-0 to Anderlecht on the day, albeit right off the back of that, we might have a free kick. Indeed, we don't. Just over 10 minutes left, still 4 goals up on aggregate. 1 minute into 3 minutes of added time in this game, we do have a throw-in, but we are having to play out from the back as we do search for an equaliser on the day, but we will be making our way through to the semi-finals of the Conference League. Pat Ainscough tries to grab us the draw on the day, but his chip comes off the upright, and it does remain 6-2 on aggregate. And that is full time in this Conference League quarter-final. We do lose the second leg 1-0 on the day, but we do go through off the back of that 6-1 win in the first leg, as we did anticipate. Interesting to see that they were actually down to 10 men late in that game, so a little bit disappointing that we couldn't quite get a goal back, but in the end we did more than enough in the home leg, and we make our way through to the final 4 of a European competition for the first time in this save. And we will just get through this post-match interview and see who we will be playing, whether it's Hertha Berlin or Dynamo Zagreb, and it is Hertha Berlin who go through after picking up a 2-0 win after extra time through a Nabil Fekir goal, winning 3-2 on aggregate. So they had to work a bit harder for their win than we did for ours. And on the other side of the draw, it is going to be Brighton taking on Randers in the other Conference League semi-final. And back in the inbox off the back of that very comprehensive win in the Conference League quarterfinals, we absolutely spanked Anderlecht there in the first leg, thanks to those 5 goals from Benjamin Rubio. And that does mean that at the start of next week, we will be taking on Hertha Berlin in the Conference League semi-finals. That will be our toughest test to date by far in the Conference League so far, albeit they do find themselves currently 9th in the Bundesliga, which is a little bit low for where you usually see Hertha Berlin in saves in this universe, albeit Dortmund also having a really bad season there. It's a very interesting Bundesliga table for the 2026-27 season. Bayern Munich have already wrapped up the title 20 points clear after playing 30 games. RB Leipzig, their closest challengers, but that is a really odd-looking Bundesliga table. But we do have to respect Hertha Berlin a heck of a lot. They are a team who do tend to do very well in Football Manager saves. 4-star reputation, a lot more familiar names in that team than any of the teams that we have played in this save so far, likes of Ozan Kabak, Jonathan Tah, Owen Wijnal, and they have Nabil Fekir there, of course, having scored the goal, which did see them go through after extra time in that Conference League quarterfinal. But that is who we have to get through if we want to make our way through to our first European final of this save, even if it is just the Conference League. Still has the initials UCL, so we will claim it indeed. And just one other thing that we do need to wrap up before I get into the life update part of this video. In between those games, we did actually have the Icelandic Super Cup. It was a very late goal here to Pat Ainscough, which did see us pick up an early season double for the domestic season. It was a game which we thoroughly dominated. Thankfully, we did get that late goal, because you can see by the stats there, we had a lot more shots on target than HK, and it would have felt pretty harsh if we did not pick up a win in that game, especially late in the second half. We really did start to lift our effort out there and really get on top of those guys. So thankfully, we do pick up the Super Cup to go alongside our Dierbekar to start this season off. But the focus on camera is all about the Conference League now that we have made our way through to the semi-finals. But we will get into now the life update section of this video. If you guys follow me on the social media, then you might already be aware of this. If you don't, then do go down in the description and follow me on all of those platforms, as well as join the Discord. Not too many of you guys in that so far, but I am moving house in a couple of months, and we do have a finished completion date for the house that me and my girlfriend are getting built, and it is late June. So with that, that is probably going to be about the time that I do look to wrap up the save on YouTube and start FMOA, which is going to be a journeyman save to finish off this year's Football Manager. But what I am thinking about doing once I do move out into a place where there's not as many people, just me and my girlfriend, and I should have a proper room to actually do my video work in, instead of having to do it in the dining room each day, which is not an ideal situation, I might have time to start streaming. So what I want to know from you guys is if you would be keen on seeing me streaming when we do move into the new house, which is going to be, as I said, around the end of June. Would probably be about a week or so after that by the time internet and all that stuff does get sorted out, as well as figuring out what schedule works for me better, having to do a little bit more traveling to and from work from that new place. And if I do start streaming, we will probably pick up the save for the rest of this year's cycle of FM as well. That's probably what we're going to be doing if we do go over and start doing some streaming on Twitch or here on YouTube. So I want you guys to let me know down in the comments if that is something that you would be keen on. The other thing to keep in mind with me being in New Zealand, I'll probably do the streams mostly at night time is my time, which does mean it will be in the mornings in UK time, which I presume is where a lot of you guys are from. So do keep that in mind when you do your responses as well. But let me know if you would like me to do some streaming once I do move into the new place come late June, early July, and I will look to get some things set up for that before I make the move. But we will come back here early next week, and hopefully we can beat Hertha Berlin and make our way through to the Conference League final and potentially get the chance to pick up our first bit of European silverware in the save. But if you did enjoy today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. Also remember, as I said, to let me know if you want to check me out on stream if I start that once we do move into the new place later this year. But until the start of next week for the Conference League semi-final and potentially a final as well. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.